Well, I already talked about how I would like to get one of the early Zamek hand wheels for this thing so that it would match the one up here. But for the time being, I'm going to put back on this one that was on here when I got the lathe. This is a home fabricated one that was the previous owner had made, and it's actually a pretty well made one. It's I think it's solid aluminum, and he made a little, a little handle on there. And what he did was he took the old hand wheel, which probably had broken, and he used the whole center section of the old hand wheel, had machined that smooth, and then basically it looks like it's a press fit. And he may have used some kind of adhesive, like a Loctite, to actually hold it in there. So that's how he got away with not having to deal with making a keyway. So I don't know, pretty ingenious, I think. And it's actually a lot sturdier than the little wimpy hand wheel that was on here originally, which would have been a match to that one. All right, that's one less thing to do. That doesn't sound good. Why the heck does it rub the lead screw so badly when I've got that disengaged? Uh-oh. Hmm. Well, it appears that it might be the alignment of that lead screw. Apparently, there's not much clearance where it passes through there, and what's happening is I think it's actually hitting teeth on the half nut, even though the half nut's disengaged. Let's see if I can see down there. Yeah, that's what it is. It looks like it. I'm not going to be able to show you, but down inside there, it looks like the half nut on the top is just hitting, the threads are just hitting the top of this and kind of doing a, you know, deal across the top. So if I push down on the, let me get the tripod. All right, so if I push down on the on the lead screw a little bit, I don't know how much I can push down. Now it's hitting the bottom there. It must be a, there we go. There's a spot definitely where if I have it, there we go. Oddly enough, it actually starts, even if I hold it here and it's not touching here, I get up this and it starts rubbing again. So, ideally that bracket should be adjustable, and it's not. I mean, I guess I could just bend that bracket, right? No, wrong, because it's Zamek. It's going to snap. Oh. I don't think the bolt holes, yeah, there was very little clearance through the, turn this camera a little bit. What I was saying is that there was very little clearance for these screws through these holes right here. So if I loosen these screws, I don't think I'm going to be able to like move this bracket down any and adjust it that way. That's not going to work. The other possibility, which I didn't consider, is that the lead screw's bent. But I have no reason to believe that that was bent. But then again, I really didn't check it. Tripod's kind of driving me nuts, but hopefully you can see. Watch the lead screw there when I turn it. See right there, it kind of pops over. Something's going on there. Let's see if I run the carriage out of the way. Yeah, now you can really see it. something behind there and give you some reference. Don't have my small scale handy, but I'll just stick this. It's weird how it keeps. Why is it only doing on that one spot? Right there, it's being lifted away. Oh, okay, because it's catching the thread. So that's not really telling me anything. It's moving like that because it's catching the thread on the half nut. So that's not really telling me how much it's out of whack. Well, mystery solved. It's my bracket. It's my repaired bracket. Must be in a different alignment after I put it back together. You know, if I had not tried soldering it and if I had just stuck it together exactly the way it was and JB welded it, I might have been able to preserve the alignment. But when I tried soldering it and I damaged the two matching ends of the crack, it must have gone together at a different angle. Because what I discovered is if I loosen the two bolts, which I've just done now, if I pull up on it, I just loosen the bolts so that it drops down, and now this is working exactly the way it should. It's not rubbing, and yeah, I can still engage the half nut. So that's the position I wanted in. The problem is, as I tighten the two bolts, what happens is it kicks this out. So what's happening is the lead screw is a little too high and a little too far out. I'll tell you what I'm tempted to do. I'm tempted to see if I could put a shim behind there. Okay, this might be a little hard to see. I just want to show what a tiny difference in the angle of this bracket makes in the operation of this. If you can see right up here where my pinky's pointing, but there's a tiny gap right there. That gap exists right now because I have the bolts slightly loose. In other words, if you watch, I close that up, you'll see that where my thumb is grabbing this here, you can see it moving just that little bit. So if I have it down like that with the little gap in there, then the operation is smooth, like it should be. And all I have to do is tighten this, and you'll see it moves, just barely moves. It's almost imperceptible. But that small amount of movement here correlates to a larger amount of movement over the length of the lead screw. And you can hear it rubbing. So what I've got to do is I've got to figure out a way. Since I can't change this angle, I can't fine-tune this angle by bending this because this will snap. I've got to figure something out here. So I'm going to find out something I can put behind these nuts just at the top. Now, I can't use washers. Well, actually, maybe I could use like if I cut a washer in half and just use a half a washer on the top of each bolt. Let me think about that. Alright, this is just a little scrap of sheet metal I cut, and it's pretty thin gauge. So let's see if this is thick enough. We'll try this. Just start the two bolts. And I believe I've made this narrow enough that I think I can sneak it right in the top. Oh, might be just a hair too wide. Let's see. Why is that coming out? I gotta make this a little thinner. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. Much better. Okay. So now it's in position. So now, the question is, will that be enough of a shimming action or will we need something thicker? The problem is the next thickness of sheet metal I have to cut something out of is actually quite a bit thicker than that. So, why is this not working? Oh, I get that. You know what? I still got some of that darn JB weld sticking up out of the way over here from my sockets. That little bead of JB weld that dripped. Should have gotten rid of that. Alright, let's see. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Alright. That little piece of metal I stuck in there, that little shim, was too thin. It didn't really kick this out enough, so I've got a little thicker scrap of metal here. I cut off a piece that was in the scrap pile. And loosen this up, and then I'm going to stick this behind there. Ah! Wow. All I was doing was tightening the bolts here, and the JB weld repair failed. So that was just a complete waste of time and effort on my part. Looks like back to plan A, which is either, I don't remember what plan what plan it was. Back to either finding somebody that could sell me a 9-16 bracket reasonably, or finding somebody who could fabricate me one. Now that I see how critical the position of where it's located is, I mean, I don't know. I can't use the dimensions of my old one anymore. I can't put the two pieces together and get the dimensions from that like I could have done originally, because I damaged it when I tried soldering it. So now I know that if I try and use this as a pattern, it's going to be incorrect. Oh well.